Picture this for a second. David is lying in bed at 11:38 p.m., phone glowing in his face, half tired, half wired. He told himself he was just going to check one message before sleeping. You know how that goes. One notification turns into scrolling, scrolling turns into browsing, and browsing somehow turns into a $27 desk organizer being shipped to his apartment, even though his desk is currently holding exactly 3 things: a laptop, a charger, and a coffee mug with a motivational quote he doesn't even like. He stares at the confirmation screen for a few seconds. Not proud, not devastated, just neutral, like it barely counts. Like it wasn't even a real decision. Then he locks his phone, rolls over, and tells himself he'll be better with money next month. I think about moments like that way more than I probably should. My name's William, and I spend an honestly strange amount of time thinking about money habits, everyday decisions, and why so many responsible, intelligent people still feel like they're always slightly behind financially. Not broke, not reckless, just confused about where it all goes. Because here's the weird part. David's problem isn't big purchases. It's not luxury cars or wild shopping sprees. It's these tiny, forgettable clicks, the things that feel too small to matter, the purchases that slip in under the radar of guilt or responsibility. And if you're honest, you've had nights like that too. Moments where spending didn't feel like spending. It felt like relaxing or rewarding yourself, or just making life a tiny bit easier after a long day. Nothing dramatic, nothing headline-worthy, just normal life happening. But here's what nobody tells you. Those small habits, the invisible ones, the ones that don't even feel like financial decisions, they can quietly cost you over $10,000 a year. And the scariest part isn't the number. It's how easy it is to live inside those patterns without ever noticing them forming. But once you see them, you start catching them in real time.
The "I'll just buy it instead of figuring it out" habit. You ever buy something just to avoid thinking? David's headphones stopped working on one side. Instead of checking if it was just earwax in the mesh, which, yeah, happens, he ordered new ones for $89. 2 days later, he found a Reddit post explaining how to clean them with a toothpick. He now owns 2 pairs. Both work. Example: bought new headphones, $89. Fix would have cost $0. That one lazy moment equals $89 gone. This is friction spending. Your brain chooses the fastest solution, not the cheapest one. You weren't being reckless, you were mentally tired. So money stepped in where a tiny bit of effort would have done the job. You paid to skip 5 minutes of problem solving. Paying for a better version you don't use. This one's subtle, sneaky, very adult. David upgraded to the Pro version of an app for $12 a month because it had advanced features. He has never used a single advanced feature, not once. But canceling feels like admitting something. Example: basic plan is $0. Pro plan, just in case, is $12 a month. 12 times 12 is $144 a year for imaginary productivity. A study from Columbia University found that people overestimate how much they'll use premium features because we like imagining our ideal future self, the organized one, the productive one. So you pay for the person you wish you were, not the one who's actually using the app. Replacing instead of repairing. A button falls off your shirt. A chair gets wobbly. A toaster stops popping. David threw out a $60 toaster because it died. The problem? Breadcrumbs jammed the spring. A 3-minute YouTube video could have saved it. Example: new toaster, $60. Fix with a screwdriver, free. That small toss equals $60 plus the habit of replacing. There's research from the University of Hertfordshire showing that modern consumers are more likely to replace than repair because inconvenience feels bigger than cost. You don't notice the shift. You just slowly become someone who buys new instead of fixing. And that mindset? Expensive. Buying the aspirational life version. You didn't buy hiking boots because you hike. You bought them because you like the idea of being someone who hikes. David owns resistance bands, a yoga mat, and a cookbook called 30 Healthy Meals in 20 Minutes. He has used none of them more than twice. Example: gear for new phase, $140. Actual usage, 2 times. Cost per use so far equals $70 per attempt at a new identity. You weren't buying objects, you were buying possibility, motivation, a future version of you that felt exciting in the moment. The dream was real. The habit didn't stick. The charge stayed. Convenience that solves a problem you don't have. Ever paid for something to save time when you weren't actually in a rush? David once paid $19 for same-day delivery on a phone charger. His old one still worked, he just didn't like how it bent. Example: express shipping, $19. Waiting 2 days, free. Impatience tax equals $19 for zero real urgency. Behavioral economists call this present bias. Your brain overvalues now and undervalues later. So waiting feels like suffering, even when it's just mild annoyance. You didn't need speed, you needed patience. But patience doesn't have a buy now button. Spending to match the mood you want. You ever buy something not because you need it, but because you want to feel like the kind of person who owns it? David buys fancy coffee beans during productive weeks. It makes him feel disciplined, focused, like he's on track. By week 3, he's back to instant coffee, but the $22 artisan bag is sitting there judging him. Example: premium beans, $22. Used twice, forgotten. Motivation cost, $22 for a temporary vibe. You weren't buying coffee, you were buying a feeling. Identity spending is powerful because it feels like self-improvement. But feelings fade, transactions don't. Avoiding slight discomfort with money. This one barely feels like spending. David keeps a gym membership he doesn't use because canceling feels awkward. He imagines the conversation, the questions, the mild guilt. So he does nothing. Example: gym membership, $35 per month. Unused for 8 months equals $280 to avoid one uncomfortable conversation. Research from Stanford shows people avoid small social discomfort even when it costs money. So you pay to avoid a 5-minute interaction you'll forget the next day. You didn't choose the gym, you chose comfort.
The bigger pattern. Look at these habits. None of them felt dramatic. No shopping spree, no financial crisis, just quick decisions made while tired, distracted, hopeful, or avoiding mild discomfort. But add them up across a year? You quietly crossed $10,000 without ever feeling like you spent a lot. That's the part nobody warns you about. Financial stress rarely comes from one explosion. It comes from a slow leak you didn't see forming. And the emotional truth is, every purchase made sense in the moment. You were solving a problem, saving time, imagining a better version of yourself, avoiding stress. That's human. That's relatable. That's you trying to make life easier. The shift doesn't come from guilt. It comes from noticing, catching yourself mid-click and thinking, wait, what problem am I actually solving right now? That tiny pause, that's where your money starts staying with you. Conclusion: you're not bad with money. You're just living in a world designed to make spending feel effortless and invisible. These small habits don't look dangerous on their own, but together they quietly reshape your financial future. The good news is, once you see them, you start spotting them in real time. The late-night clicks, the future you purchases, the discomfort you're trying to avoid. And from there, change doesn't have to be dramatic. Just a few more conscious pauses, a few fewer autopilot decisions, and suddenly your money starts working for your life instead of disappearing in the background.
If this video helped you see money a little differently, hit like so more people can find it. And if you want to avoid the mistakes that keep most people stuck, subscribe. I post videos like this every week. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.